Hello everyone, Hamid here from How to Electronics. Today I want to show you something really interesting, how we can use AI to generate schematics for electronic boards. So let's get started. We've all seen how the recent explosion of AI has completely changed so many different fields. Software development and coding have probably been some of the biggest ones. But we've also seen some pretty crazy progress in things like text generation, image generation, and even video generation. But when it comes to electronics design, I feel like we haven't seen nearly as much, at least not yet. Recently, I came across this really interesting website called SpeedUp AI, and they make a pretty bold claim. Apparently, you can simply describe the electronic board you want to build, and the AI will actually generate a schematic prototype for you. And if this actually works well, this could be a pretty big deal. They also claim to have access to over 1 million sourceable electronic components with real world availability, which means, in theory, the AI shouldn't just give you some random components that are impossible to actually buy. So naturally, I wanted to put it to the test. Instead of giving it something extremely simple, I decided to ask it to design a semi-complicated electronic board and see what happens. Does it actually understand what we're asking for? Can it select the right components? And most importantly, will the final schematic actually make sense? Well, let's find out. Now, before we actually start designing the board, let me show you a little trick that I've been using for quite a while. Pretty much whenever I use an AI tool these days, I use AI itself to generate the prompt for me. Yeah, I use AI to talk to another AI, but it actually works really well. A good prompt can make a huge difference in the result you get, especially with something technical like this. So for this project, I first went to ChatGPT and asked it to help me come up with both the idea and a proper prompt for the board. I told ChatGPT, I need a prompt that I can give to another AI to generate a schematic for an electronic board. The other AI is an expert in board design, so I want you to prepare a detailed prompt for it. I want to build an ESP32 based board that can detect whether someone is present in a room, monitor the air quality, and then control a ventilation fan based on that air quality. Please recommend the appropriate types of sensors and add enough technical details to give the project a good starting point. And from there, ChatGPT gave me a much more detailed prompt that I could take directly into SpeedUp AI. So instead of me trying to think of every little requirement myself, I'm basically using one AI to properly explain the project to another AI. Welcome to engineering in the age of AI. Alright, so once I had the prompt ready, I went over to the SpeedUp AI workspace and simply copied and pasted the exact prompt that ChatGPT generated for me. Now, one feature I really liked here is that you can actually choose which AI model you want to use. And since I'm personally a big fan of Claude Opus, I switched the model over to Opus. But there's another option here that I think is even more interesting. You can switch the AI into plan mode. Instead of immediately jumping into the schematic and trying to build everything, the AI first takes some time to actually plan out the entire project. It figures out the details, selects the types of components it wants to use, decides on the sensors, the microcontroller, the power modules, and basically works out how everything should fit together. Then, before it starts building anything, it gives you the plan for approval. And I really like this approach because you're still part of the process. You can review what the AI is proposing, give it feedback, ask it to make changes, and only when you're happy with the plan, you can approve it and let the AI move forward. So I gave it my prompt and waited. It took a few minutes for the AI agent to come up with a detailed plan for the board. And while it was working, there was this status area where I could actually follow what the AI was doing. You can see the different steps it's working through and get an idea of what's happening behind the scenes. It's a small detail, but I actually found this really useful because you're not just staring at a loading screen, wondering whether anything is happening. Once the planning was finished, I reviewed everything and it looked reasonable. So I approved the plan, and pretty much right away, the AI agent started actually building the project. Now, this part was pretty interesting to watch. At the bottom of the workspace, I could see the schematic gradually taking shape. As the AI worked through the design, I could see which section it was currently working on, what had already been completed, and how the overall project was progressing. And this wasn't exactly a quick process. The entire project took about an hour and a half to finish. So, I went and had lunch, and every few minutes I would come back and check on it. Power section, done. Sensors, done. Microcontroller section, done. And little by little, I could actually see this entire schematic being built. Eventually, after about an hour and a half, the AI finished the complete project.
And finally, the project was complete. At this point, I could see a check mark beside every section of the board, showing that the AI had finished all the different parts of the design. And the nice thing is, I didn't even have to download anything yet to inspect the result. The schematic at the bottom of the workspace could be opened directly on the website, and I could zoom in and look through the design in quite a bit of detail. But now there was also a new option available: download KiCad project. And this is what I was really waiting for. Looking at the schematic in the browser is nice, but I wanted to open the actual project in KiCad, go through the schematic properly, and see what the AI had really created. So, after about an hour and a half of waiting, I downloaded the KiCad project. And now it was time to see what we actually got.
After downloading the project, the first thing I noticed was that this wasn't just a simple KiCad schematic file. The project folder actually came with quite a lot of supporting material. There was a library folder containing all the required KiCad footprint files and a symbols folder containing the symbol files needed for the project. So everything was packaged together, which is really nice if you want to open the project and start working with it right away. But more importantly, the project also included a complete bill of materials, or BOM, and this is something I found really useful. Instead of going through the schematic and manually figuring out every component that was selected, I already had a list of the parts used in the design. So at this point, it wasn't just giving me a schematic, it was actually giving me something much closer to a complete starting point for a real electronics project. Of course, having all these files is great, but the real question is still whether the actual design is any good. So let's open it in KiCad and take a closer look. So I opened the project in KiCad, and there it was. Honestly, my first impression was pretty good. The schematic was clean, organized, and nicely divided into different sections. It didn't look like a bunch of components randomly placed and connected together. I could easily navigate between the different subsections of the design and open each one individually to see the detailed schematic for that part of the board: the microcontroller section, the sensors, the power circuitry, the fan control. Everything was separated in a way that made the overall design much easier to understand and review. And obviously, I wouldn't take an AI generated schematic and immediately send it for manufacturing without checking everything first. But as a starting point for an electronic design project, this was actually pretty impressive. Instead of starting from a completely blank schematic, I now had a structured design that I could review, modify, and build on, and that can potentially save a lot of time during the early stages of a project. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. If you did, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to How to Electronics for more projects like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.